Assalamu alaikum. Today we will start with the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam by mentioning some of his qualities. Ibrahim alayhi salam is from Ulul Azm. There are 5 Ulul Azm and these are the greatest of the Anbiya. They are Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa and Nuh alayhi salam. The second greatest among them after Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is Ibrahim. Ibrahim alayhi salam is mentioned in the Quran 73 times in 25 places. He was the one whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen Ibrahim alayhi salam to be his friend. You see, Ibrahim alayhi salam lived a long life, traveling from one place to another making hijrah. He lived in Iraq for a while, in Haran, in Bayt al-Maqdis, Egypt, and even visited Mecca a few times. All of this traveling in very difficult conditions. Ibrahim alayhi salam was driven out of his homeland with no believers with him except his nephew Lut. He went all around the world to these other countries and didn't have many followers with him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Ibrahim alayhi salam, I'm your friend. You don't need any friends in this world. I am your friend. For Ibrahim alayhi salam, it's different. First of all, Ibrahim was making hijrah for all of his life. And then in many places he would go, he was found to be the only believer. Once when he went to Egypt and told his wife, me and you are the only believers here. When he was making dawah to his people in Iraq, only him and Lut were the believers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ibrahim a name that wasn't given to anybody else in the Quran, and that is Kana Ummah. He was a nation by himself. Ibrahim alayhi salam was a nation. He was an ummah. Even though he didn't have anybody with him, he was alone. But Ibrahim alayhi salam counts as a nation, as a whole ummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Ibrahim alayhi salam was a ummah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said he had a lot of khushu. He had khushu of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Didn't matter night or day, 24 hours he was in a state of khushu. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he stayed away from all the shirk. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ibrahim has fulfilled what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted from him. He fulfilled it all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Ibrahim alayhi salam, I will make you an imam, a leader for mankind, someone who will be a role model for everyone else to follow. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we made all the prophets after him from his descendants. All of the Anbiya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Rasul that came after were from the descendants of Ibrahim. And that was the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Thank you for watching.